the incredible story of the Antichrist, a figure foretold as the greatest sign of the apocalypse, a ruler who dares to claim divinity, standing against God himself, a being of Jewish descent who controls clouds, the sun, even the seas, and whose piercing gaze captivates entire nations. No age has seen greater chaos than what he will unleash. So, who is the Antichrist? And when will he appear? Failing to recognize him isn't just a small mistake. It's a disaster of faith that can lead to destruction. His arrival marks one of the most massive events in all creation. He will bring devastation that even the ancient pharaohs and Nimrods could not imagine. That's why learning to identify him is critical. Because knowingly supporting the Antichrist is the greatest tragedy of all. It means spiritual death. Pause. Background music builds. Throughout history, scholars have debated his existence. Some argue that the descriptions in Hadith make him seem impossible, too fantastical to be real. But others say God's power has no limits. If Allah wills, even the impossible becomes possible. Think about it. A man taller than a minaret with Kafir, unbeliever, written across his forehead, traveling the entire world in 40 days, riding a creature whose ears stretch 40 cubits wide, and speaking so loudly that the whole planet can hear him. If this were literal, everyone would instantly recognize him, and that would ruin the test of faith. So these descriptions must hold deeper symbolic meaning. The Hadith say the word Kafir is between his brows. But if that word were clearly visible, who could ever be deceived? So perhaps it means his disbelief will be obvious only to those with faith, spiritually clear, not physically seen. The Hadith also describe him as gigantic, so large that when Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, confronts him, he can only strike his knee, even after leaping high into the air. That imagery symbolizes immense worldly power, political, military, and material dominance. From these hadith, we learn that during the end times, certain figures will hold extraordinary control, not just through strength, but through influence. Maybe only a few true believers will recognize Isa's light, while the Antichrist commands the masses with technology, wealth, and armies. When the Hadith mention him traveling the world in 40 days, it suggests that when he comes, the entire globe will know his name. He will journey everywhere, swiftly, riding a strange mount, with massive ears, soft feet, loud noise, and a foul smell. A scholar once said, "Doesn't that sound a bit like the cars we drive today? Doors like elephant ears, rubber wheels soft to the touch, and exhaust spewing both noise and stench." Or maybe that mount refers to airplanes, machines that literally fly above the clouds. The Hadith describe him moving as fast as the wind and driving the clouds, clearly alluding to modern travel and flight. The Antichrist won't just be an evil man. He'll be a dictator, a ruler who deceives rather than conquers. He will lead people astray, not by war, but by temptation. One side of his mount is said to resemble a blazing furnace, the other a beautiful paradise. He will direct his enemies toward the fiery side and his followers toward the pleasant one. This could symbolize how he presents evil as good and good as evil, a theme all too familiar in our times. Before we go further, make sure you subscribe to Islamic Tales Hub and tap the bell icon so you never miss a story like this. We post new Islamic analyses and stories every week. Don't miss out on knowledge that deepens your understanding of faith, said Nursi. One of the great thinkers of the last century explained that during the time of the Antichrist, communication and transport would advance so much that news could spread worldwide in a single day, and one could travel across 7 continents in less than 40 days. Think about that. Centuries before planes, trains, or the internet, this was already described in Islamic tradition. Another narration tells us the Antichrist will have 2 rivers beside him, one appearing as bright fire, the other as cool water. But believers are told the fire is actually cool and refreshing, and the water is truly fire. a warning that appearances can deceive, truth and falsehood will be flipped in his era. Other hadith mention that he will carry mountains of bread and water, and that he will offer a false heaven and hell. Those who follow him will enjoy comfort and luxury, but at the cost of their souls. Those who resist will face hardship and loss, but their end will be paradise. Communities that fail to reject him, it said, will suffer famine, fear, and loss of blessings, while his followers will appear materially successful. When he appears, his voice will reach east and west, something no human could ever do unaided. But today, we understand how such a thing is possible, through radios, television, the internet, and digital media. He will use technology to influence every home, every heart that lacks discernment. This means that Antichrist will rise in a time when technology dominates every aspect of life, and he will weaponize it to spread confusion and disbelief. Hadith also mention that his hand is pierced. In Arabic expression, that means he is a spendthrift, someone who wastes money endlessly, pouring wealth into entertainment and indulgence. He will stay on earth for 40 days, but those 40 days will not be ordinary. The first will feel like a year, the second like a month, the third like a week, and the remaining will pass like normal days. Said Nursi interpreted this in two ways. First, he said the Antichrist may rise from regions where one day lasts months, like the North Pole, symbolizing those who spread atheism and denial of God. Second, he said the days may symbolize eras, a long era of preparation, a shorter period of domination, and finally, a brief but intense final phase before his fall. There have been, according to Hadith, 30 lesser antichrists before the final one. Each one claimed to be a messenger and eventually a god. Some scholars say the number 30 represents many false leaders throughout history, from tyrants to ideologies. Others even describe modern media, like television, as mini antichrists, because they often glamorize sin and ridicule righteousness. In that sense, screens themselves can mislead hearts if not guided by faith. The story of the Antichrist remains one of humanity's greatest trials. His command of power, mastery of technology, and ability to twist truth into falsehood serve as a warning for us all. To protect ourselves, we must keep our faith strong, our understanding clear, and our hearts firmly connected to God. If you want to explore more of these deep and powerful topics, stay with us here at Islamic Tales Hub. We'll continue to uncover hidden meanings and signs from the Quran, Hadith, and classical scholars. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with others seeking truth. Your support helps us bring you more enlightening stories. Until next time, stay firm in faith and may Allah guide us all.